got to run my set twice because they're awesome. They got like 2-3 shows going at all times down at the wonderful Comedy Store, and they put me up twice. And I had a great time. And I was doing that all weekend. I did take Saturday night off because I wanted to watch that UFC Championship of the World. UFC 168. Anderson Silva versus that other guy. I still don't know his name. I haven't even taken the time to learn his fucking name because I was so convinced that, that he lost the first one just because he was fucking around. And I should know the champ's name here. Let me look this up. Anderson Silva versus Chris Weidman. Hope I'm saying that right. Weidman. I'm sorry. All right? I thought the writing was on the wall because Matt the Terracera was in his camp, and I'm like, oh, man, that's like when he knocked out George St. Pierre. And everyone was going, oh, George didn't fucking train, and yada, yada, yada. And then Matt the Terracera was going, let him drink wine or whatever. I thought it was hilarious, but he ended up coming back and beating him. I'm not trashing, obviously, Matt Serra at all, but I'm just saying. So I just thought that maybe this was going to happen again because the first time they had the fight, like, I've watched Roy Jones Jr., make fun of people or clown them, as the youth says. I never seen it done at the level of that first fight. It was, fucking ridiculous. And he ended up making a stupid face. The guy punched him and knocked him out. So it's like, all right, he's coming in this time, and he's going to handle his business, right? As the youth says. How do I get all this fucking hip-hop shit in I don't even know. I don't even listen to this stuff. So anyways, maybe because it's ruled the charts for 15 years, Bill, and it is mainstream. Maybe you heard it in Staples, you red cunt. So I get this fight because I want to see the rematch to see if this Chris Weidman or Weidman guy is for real. Crushes. It kills me that I don't know that I'm not pronouncing his name correctly. But anyways, I wanted to see that, and then also I wanted to watch that Ronda Rousey Mishna Tate fight because me and the lovely Nia were watching the UFC Fight Club fucking show the whole season. And I got to tell you, man, it was an unbelievable night. Unbelievable night of fights. If you haven't ordered it yet, it's totally worth the money. And I had a bunch of people come over, and we watched the fight. And there's no, all right, spoiler alert. I don't know, if you're living under a fucking rock, you weren't paying attention. Anderson Silva fucking snapped his goddamn leg. The second time this year I've seen it. The kid on Louisville, and now that is just. It was not pretty, but I got to tell you that the other dude, Chris, was winning the fight at that point. You know what I want to ask Joe Rogan. I got to call in his podcast because he said something during that fight that I thought was really interesting. Where he said, once you get knocked out, you're never the same as far as your ability to, I guess, take a punch like that again. Like I didn't quite understand it because it's not like you lose brain fluid. It's still sitting in the same amount of fluid, but maybe I don't know what's going on. So I wanted to ask him about that because I found that really fascinating because I remember Roy Jones Jr., no one could ever touch him, and then he finally got knocked out, and after he got knocked out, it seemed easier with each time to knock him out, and people were trying to say, the air of invincibility is gone. And I didn't think that. It seemed like there was something different about him. I don't know. I found that really interesting. So next time I run into him, I'm definitely going to ask him about it. I thought I had a lot to say about that that UFC shit. I guess I didn't. I always just get blown away how fucking tough those guys are. Like I'll tell you one thing. That guy who came in, the lumberjack guy, who was really in bad shape for an Ultimate Fighter. We were sitting there watching it going, this guy has the fucking torso of like a regional manager. If he didn't have that, I will murder your whole family and then sit down and eat soup afterwards, look on his face. One of the most terrifying looks I've ever seen. He came in not like I'm going to beat you. He's like, he was going to kill the other guy. So they end up having their fight. And, old fucking, awful torso, takes a knee to the head, drops to his legs, drops to his knees, grabs the other guy's legs, and this guy reigns like, I don't know, 4 elbows. And he must have been using the perfect technique because when they showed it in slow motion, it was almost like this beginning of a breakdance move. It was very fluid the way he was doing it with a little bit of flair. You know, it wasn't like he was just bringing it up like how a jerk off like me, like. It was like this aerodynamic. I don't know what he was doing. It looked fucking great. He should have his little pinky out. It was like 6 of the classiest fucking elbows to the side of the head I've ever seen. And that was the end of that lumberjack and any murderous thoughts he ever had. Had? Why is my voice cracking? I don't know. I always like seeing that. I love seeing when a guy goes into the octagon and I just see the look on his face and I feel whatever manhood I even possess just drain out of me and just see the other guy just look across the ring like, ooh, that's a tough look you got there. What gosh. And then it's fucking over. You know? Then you wish that you could do something like that. You know? Maybe there's some terrorist on a flight and then you land the plane and they want to give you the key to the city but you don't show up because you're too fucking cool for it. Anybody else just go on those long fantasies like that? I do it. I do it all the time. You know what? I won't apologize for it. I like living in my own little world. Between my 2 ears, I am a hell of a fucking guy. I'm a war veteran. I'm a hero. I know how to fuck well. I'm good at math. It's endless. Anybody watch any of the NFL football yesterday? I actually went on a hike yesterday, you know, like the half a twinkle toes I am, and went with another buddy of mine just to make it even more homoerotic. And I don't know. I wasn't interested in any of the earlier fucking games. And plus, I've been eating like shit, you know, with the holiday food and everything. So I was like, I got to get out and at least try to walk around a little bit. So we decided we're going to go on this hike. And we just kept extending it and extending it and extending it. And I knew I was going to pay the price for it. Long story short, we got fucking lost. We tried to cut down this one ridge, and it just ended up getting so fucking steep. Like, I was just like, if one of us falls, I'm not saying we're going to die from the fall, but we're going to die from laying there for 4 days until coyotes finally find us and, like, just pick us apart, you know? As we're just laying on our backs, you know, making those noises you make as you're trying to fight off jackals with a stick. You know, I would stab myself with a stick personally. I'd always take the coward way out. I'm not going to feel that wild animal's breath up against my earlobes. Just trying to get a better fucking lock on my neck. I don't need that. I don't need that. Oh, speaking of that, for some reason that made me think of Ronda Rousey. How she just fucking gradually got the armbar going there. People flipped out when she didn't shake hands afterwards. They were booing the shit out of her. I thought it was a great fight. I'm all right if they don't shake hands afterwards. Hey, how about after you fucking break their arm, you show a little bit of class and shake the fucking arm that you didn't break? Who gives a fuck? You know, I liked it. I enjoyed it. I liked that she didn't shake the hands. Well, what does that teach the kids? What does that teach them? You know, when they're done punching their friend in the face and then fucking snapping their arm, if they don't get up and shake their fucking quivering hand, I liked it. I enjoyed it. Oh, the lovely Nia, everybody. She was going, shush, shush, I have things to do. Look at you with your fancy shoes. That's it? Bye. You look great.
Thank you.
All right. Anyways. The fuck was I talking about? Yeah, I enjoyed it. I didn't have a problem that she didn't fucking shake her hand. But I like both fighters, and I wish them well. Oh, look at me. Being a goddamn diplomat here.